Sworn to tell the truth.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Resumption of cross-examination. Mr. Turner? Thank you.
Mr. Alvarez, we last stopped talking to each other. We were discussing what happened when Dr. Murray gave you these vials. You testified he gave you some vials, right?
No, sir. I testified that he reached out with a handful of vials, sir.
Was it your impression at the time that he was trying to give you these vials to put away?
Well, he said to put them in a bag.
All right. So you then turned to your right and picked up a plastic bag.
That is correct, sir.
And that was your idea.
I'm sorry?
That was your idea.
That was my reaction, yes, sir.
Dr. Murray didn't say, go get that plastic bag.
No, sir.
And then after the plastic, you picked up the plastic bag, your testimony today was that Dr. Murray put the vials inside it, right?
That is correct, sir.
Did you happen to take a look at the vials?
I saw him when he had them in his palm, or in his. They look like vials where you extract some kind of medication out of them, sir.
Well, I mean, did they look like the vial that this vial here, which is
They were glass vials, sir.
Go ahead.
They look like people's 30 to you?
They were smaller than that.
Small. All right. Then you, according to your testimony, you then, Dr. Murray told you to put it into another bag.
Correct.
Right? That's what you said.
Correct.
All right. So you did. You put that plastic bag of vials into another bag.
Into a brown bag.
And you had to walk over to that brown bag?
No, sir. I just had to turn and drop it in.
All right. You still have your pointer?
Yes, I do, sir.
All right. Where was this brown bag?
Like I mentioned before, sir, this chair was in this general area here, sir.
Right.
And
Let's try to avoid, because it's very difficult on the record. So if you can kind of be more descriptive.
okay. To the farther side of the picture, in front of this red chair, the wooden chair was on the far left, on the far side of the picture, and the bags were just to the far end of the chair.
On the floor.
Yes, sir.
And they were open.
Yes, that's correct.
And you were standing where?
I was standing in this area here, sir.
So you didn't walk over to the bag, you just kind of bent.
For the record, he was pointing to the foot of the bed, Your Honor.
Fair enough.
So
Fair enough,
you
sir.
just kind of bent over and put them in the bag.
I just turned to my left and I dropped the bag. Yes, sir.
Indicating with his hand outreached and with the dropping motion, Your Honor.
Thank you.
All right. Then you say,
He pointed to the IV stand and he said, "Take that bag and put it in the blue bag."
and the IV stand, you said was to the, I guess the left side of the bed here where I'm pointing, right?
Can I point?
Sure.
It was in this general area, in front of this white chair, sir.
Is that what you testified to earlier?
I believe so. Yes.
Okay, but that's where it was. Okay.
As you look at pupils 22, it'd be on the far side of the bed, the light-colored chair.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
And did you have to walk to the IV stand?
I did. I took a couple of steps towards the IV stand, sir.
couple of steps, is that right?
Sure.
Is that accurate?
Yes, it's accurate.
All right. And you said that there were 2 IV bags on the stand.
Correct, yes.
All right. And you've already identified one IV bag, right? You said this looks just like the bag that was up there on the stand, right?
Correct.
When did you see that picture for the first time?
I'm sorry.
The picture of the IV bag that you identified today, when did you first see that?
I don't recall when the first time I saw it, sir.
2010, 2009, 2011?
I believe it was 2011, I believe.
Where were you when you saw it?
I believe I was at Mr. Walgren's office, sir.
I'm going to show you People's 29, which you were shown by Mr. Walgren earlier. It's an IV bag, right?
Yes.
That IV bag, you said, looks just like the bag you saw on the stand
Correct.
for that period of time you were up there, right?
Correct.
Okay, based on your memory, right, from 2 years earlier,
Correct.
right? Let me show you Defense Exhibit H, which is a IV bag.
You want to?
Yes, yes,
H
please.
is in hotel.
Does that look like an identical IV bag to you?
Yes, sir, it does.
Identical to the one that Ms. Walgren showed. Is that right?
Except for the...
Except for the black marking, right?
Correct.
And here, these lines that are drawn on this bag, right?
Correct.
But this bag doesn't have those lines, right?
That's correct.
Okay. Would you hold on to this, please, Defense Exhibit H? Would you show us, you did say that Dr. Murray told you to take that bag down, right?
Correct. Yes, sir. It was on the little hook of the IV stem.
Well, let me stop you right there. It was a curly hook, right?
That's correct.
Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying.
All right.
And I proceeded to grab it from the top, and I took it out of the hook, and then I grabbed it with one hand, and I dropped it in the blue bag that he instructed me to.
We just saw that you used both hands.
Correct.
You did use both hands.
Yes, sir.
The finger,
And indicating for the record, both hands at the very topmost portion of the bag.
And, yes.
you didn't wear any gloves, did you?
No, sir.
I handed you the People's Exhibit 29 again, which is their IV bag. The placement of these lines here, these squares that we see on this bag,
Okay.
is that generally where you pulled it off?
I'm not too sure. I know I grabbed it from the top, which is this area here.
At some point, Mr.
Indicating again that top portion.
The top portion. Yes, sir.
At some point, Mr. Alvarez, after telling the police, which, by the way, you're fifth, is that right?
Correct. We had a brief interview, sir.
And you never did tell them about taking down IV bags.
No, sir.
After you made this statement for the first time, which was August 31st, 2009, is that right?
That is correct.
That was the very first time you told anybody about taking down IV bags.
Correct.
Right? After that time, you were fingerprinted.
Correct.
Where were you fingerprinted?
I was fingerprinted at my attorney's office.
Okay. All right. So then the next thing that happened was you took down the IV bag to put it around the corner, right? You took down the IV bag.
Correct.
And then after that, you put that in a different bag.
Yes, sir. That's correct.
And you said that was a blue bag.
That is correct.
And then you called 911.
Yes, sir. Then Dr. Murray instructed me to call 911. Sir.
Do you think you might have gotten some of this mistaken?
No, sir.
No. No chance of that?
No, sir.
No chance. All right. Well, let's talk about this 911 call you made, okay? During the 911 call, you said that you placed Michael Jackson on the floor.
Correct.
Is that your testimony today?
Yes.
Okay. You sure it wasn't after your 911 call?
No, sir. If I remember correctly, it was instructing me to put him on the floor.
All right. Well, your testimony today was that before you put him on the floor, you grabbed Michael Jackson's ankles,
Yes, sir. That's correct.
and he was limp.
Yes, sir.
And before you could ever lift him, there was a catheter that was removed from his leg, right?
From
From his leg, a catheter?
a catheter?
Yeah. You said an IV was pulled out of him?
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay. And in fact, you didn't know where to grab at first because of the IV is what you said, right?
That is correct, sir.
Okay. And you were gentle with him, weren't you?
I was, sir.
I mean, you didn't just throw him on the ground, right?
Of course not.
This is you wanted to be careful.
Yes, sir.
And you're saying that Dr. Murray, before he actually grabbed, this is your testimony, before he grabbed the shoulders, he put a similar device or this device on Michael Jackson's finger.
That is correct, sir.
All that happened before Michael Jackson was gently laid to the floor.
Correct.
All right. Now, do you still have the transcript of the 911 call?
Yes, I did.
Do we have it here? Will you go to that transcript and tell us at what line you put Michael Jackson on the floor?
Everybody knows exactly at what point.
I'll overlay the objection. If you're able to indicate it, fine. If not, just indicate that.
Right where it's L.A. Okay, let's get him to the floor. I'm going to help you with CPR right now, okay? And then where I said we need, I believe that I was, at that time, giving the indication that we needed to put him on the floor with, to Dr. Conrad Murray, sir.
Starting at page 3, line 19.
No, sir, it was, yes, sir, okay, where the operator was speaking on 19, and then on 21 is where we did that, sir. I put him
Are
to
you starting at there are a couple different indications of okay. The first is line 17. Is it line 17, if you recall, or line 19, or you don't know, or what?
Oh, that's right. You're absolutely right, Your Honor. That's going too far. It started. I was approaching Mr. Jackson when he says, "Okay, let's get him to the floor," because I was pacing back and forth because I didn't want to get the situation that was going on. So I wanted to make sure that I was focusing on the operator and on his instructions or whatever I needed to relay to the operator. So when he said, "Okay, let's get him to the floor," that's when I turned to the situation and I started approaching Mr. Jackson, sir.